The Army had an unfortunate slogan a few years ago, the Army of One. It pictured a soldier going up over the hill all by himself. Although it might have appealed to a generation that values individualism, it certainly made no sense tactically. We learned that in sports at an early age. A football player who decides to go it alone without sufficient blocking will find himself flat on his back and having his bell rung. In firefighting, going into a burning building would be a foolish thing to go and do it by yourself. It's called the crew concept. The idea of having a buddy, a battle buddy, somebody to go in there to watch your back, no matter what would happen in the midst of it. So everyone needs that idea. The adage is true. There is no I in team. Everyone needs a battle buddy, a wingman, a blocker, a crewman, a coach, or a friend. Wise old Solomon said, two are better than one because they have a good return for their work. If one falls down, his friend can pick him up. Pity the man who falls and has no one to pick him up. Jesus knew this principle and practiced it in his ministry. He took his disciples, at least 2 or 3 of his disciples, in every ministry, project, or mission that he would take. He sent his disciples out 2 by 2. Jesus showed by example that discipleship is not done in isolation. We need each other. If we are to grow in the Lord, we need to be practicing discipleship one-on-one in groups of 2 or 3 or small groups like you have there in your home this evening. And if we are to reach our neighbors for Christ, we can't expect large crowd meetings to reach people for Jesus. Although Jesus used crowds to proclaim the gospel in the small groups, one-on-one or in small groups, that discipleship really took place. So for now, acknowledge that you've been raised in this United States where individualism and self-reliance is the value. But set aside that right now and to take a look at the Scriptures and see how Jesus discipled His people.